Hey, this is Trav, and so today I was going to practice level 7 of Mythologies, the Bridge of Immortality. Just going to give it a shot, practice around, see what worked, and I managed to make a playthrough of it. It's not as hard as what I remember, although the sub bosses they were really ridiculous until I got used to some of their patterns, and um, this strategy that I found is not 100% perfect. Um, I don't see how people are able to do some of the stuff that they can do, where they just jump in and do the drop kicks. A lot of perfect timing. So this Dino bot, I don't know the actual name of it. I don't care to look it up. So basically, what you're supposed to do is when he starts to shoot his fire at you, then you go for the drop kick. But occasionally you get headbutted. But yeah, you're supposed to wait until he starts to go for the flame, and then you do the drop kick, jump away, rinse and repeat. I had some issues with that, and it's just where I haven't fought him as opposed to some of the other enemies in the game as much. Uh, these the dino bosses, they show up on this level, and they don't, that's it. That's the only time that they show up. The same thing with the robot sub bosses, and it's like they went through the trouble of making these things, and they stick them in, and you only see them once. But that's, when I think back on the game, that was kind of the point of the game, was that it was like being at an arcade. You throw quarters at a game, and eventually you learn it, and you get better. They really wanted you to replay these levels and to learn them 100%, and to get some. I guess they figured that would be enjoyable, but it's very tedious. It's more difficult than fun, and there are some fun, difficult fun games. This is definitely not one of them. And here's one of the robot bosses. So there's three, if I'm not mistaken. There's three robot bosses, sub bosses, and each one of them has a different weapon. And let's see, there was a flamethrower, one had a machine gun, and I forget what the other one did. But you have to learn their patterns. So you see here, my health is crap, and so I had another boss to fight, and there's only there's 3 health pickups in this level. And see, I died here, but I took that death because I needed the health. So I accepted it. I said, you know what? Screw it. I've got lives to spare. I'll spare one for the health benefits. And another thing you notice, so the game still says 9 lives. Apparently, when you reach 9 lives and you get an extra urn of life, or whatever they call it, it's counted, but it's not represented in the game. So you have to mentally keep track of what your lives are. And I couldn't be bothered to do that, because I'm so focused on the actual gameplay. I'm not, that's the game is supposed to keep track of that and tell me. So I play it like it's 9, even though I know it's not 9. And here's a cheap little thing here, and they tried to punish me for it. So I got shot. Look how far away this guy is. He's so far away, but he still managed to shoot at me. And I'm using the ability where you double freeze someone, and then you do the roundhouse, and it shatters them, just to make things simpler. So up there, I was trying to go forward, and that guard, he roundhouse kicked me down here. This was actually where I needed to go. So if I would have kept going right, I wouldn't have been where I needed to go. So that enemy hitting me when he did, it actually helped me out, because I was like, oh, that's where I need to go. So beating me down again. So I have a baby fart worth of health, and I've got a little bit ways to go here. And at this point, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. No way. And I've been to this area several times, doing a practice playthrough, and I would always do something stupid. This this guy, he gave me such a hard time. So you see right here, I'm just like, screw it. That I had a issue with the controller. I'm almost dead here. I'm starting to freak out. I'm starting to get antsy because I'm right there. This guy. And I can't remember what's coming up here. Is there another guy? What's going on? Almost at the end. I'm like, please. I was literally having, I wouldn't call it a panic attack, but I was getting frustrated. So we have the 3 keys, and the funny thing here is all I had to do was hit triangle. But again, I'm playing this on an emulator for easy record purposes. The Thrustmaster has no keys whatsoever. They're just blank. So for whatever reason, I thought maybe you had to mix the keys or like combine the keys. So I was hitting square and nothing was working. See, the door's not opening. So I was freaking out, and I showed this to my wife, and she was laughing about it. I thought this was hilarious, but I got, I went through the level, and I'm amazed that I managed to make it. I've got a slither of health, and but it wasn't working. So I freaked out, and I was like, I do not want to have to do this over again. So yeah, that was a little funny moment there. So that's it. That's it for level 7. Level 8 is much easier. I'd go on a little bit, but I'm running out of time here. So yeah, we will get to level 8 in the near future, and we'll finish this this crappy game. All right, thanks for watching. Take care.